Okay, Alex, are you there?
I am.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Okay, well, look, let's get cracking.
Good deal. Go ahead.
So, Alex, would you be so your website is crypto art, is it not?
Actually, I work with a couple different organizations. So what I have is something I started about 10 months ago called the San Antonio Crypto Network. All I wanted it to be was literally that, a network for anything crypto or digital currency related. So within that, I started meeting lots and lots and lots of different people working in crypto. For instance, Troy Fearnow, who makes crypto art. You can check out his website at cryptoart.com. But yeah, so I became a reseller of his stuff, and I do a lot of art promotions for him out in San Antonio. Mainly because I work with another organization called Beyond the Canvas, which is a body painting organization, who I met a year ago and told him about Bitcoin, and the founder of that loved it to death. So we've been doing a lot of body painting on women and men, full body painting with crypto art and that sort of stuff at South by Southwest this year, and it's just a lot of fun. So just a network to build upon, really. Oh, great. Actually, my roommate just got here. He's also my business partner, so he'll be jumping on pretty soon too.
That's
Yeah,
great.
jump on whenever. But yeah, so that's basically what we do. And other than that, our main focus recently has been just Bitcoin integration in the businesses in our area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it sounds like we're there's a good fit already. But so look, what I wanted to do really is spend the next 30 minutes to an hour really talking about what Love Plus Bitcoin is, what we're about, um, and what it amounts to is a business offer. So just to be upfront with you going in, where our hope will be that we can that that through this process we can interest you in working with us moving forward.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear what you have. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, sweet. So look, let's start off on what we're going to cover in some detail. Then we're hoping, and it sounds like you're a lover of Bitcoin, and you get it, and with us you're hoping to sort of drive adoption. So
Absolutely.
so far as we're concerned, our business journey started about 18 months ago, um, and we were driven really by the same sorts of things that sounds like it's driving you. And the approach that we took was to build a Bitcoin directory, which we did through a platform called BitScan. So very simply, we were looking to to give merchants and consumers clarity of where each were, so that they could meet and do business. And we spent the last sort of 18 months building that directory up. It's the largest on the planet so far as we're aware, and the most comprehensive. And we've pushed that directory out to the community via a web app, bitscan.com, and two mobile apps, one on Android and one on iOS. But they're very simple. You can find what you're looking for by a categorized directory or through a map interface. Once that work was complete, we wanted to take it a step further and build a marketplace which catered for this notion of or this issue of trust. It catered for the fact that we wanted to do something that catered for the fact that when you're trading, particularly online with Bitcoin, you're reversing the if you like the trust model. So whereas in ordinary fiat commerce, the if you like the merchant bears the risk, and if the customer isn't happy, there are multiple means by which one can be refunded. And the with Bitcoin, of course, when you're passing cash over the internet, it's the customer taking the risk, and so that's something we wanted to address. So we spent the last sort of year building a marketplace with that trust IP baked in, and I'll show you the way that happens as we sort of move forward. We also wanted to make something that was as easy for a merchant to use and upload their inventory on as it was for individuals. So those two functionalities are also baked into the platform. And finally, we wanted a marketplace that rewarded participation. And of course, Bitcoin enables you to do that. So if you like, in any one transaction, the Bitscan has the ability to reward both the referrers of those trading counterparties and the referrers of traffic at the moment of sale. So that's basically how Bitscan works. And if I sort of just bring this down, let's see if I can. So this is a Bitscan dashboard. I don't know whether you've seen it or not. This is the main site.
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually on it right now. For the first 20 minutes while we were waiting, I was actually listing something on it for sale to see how easy it would be. So yeah, I actually have listed something about 34 minutes ago.
And how did you find?
I'm currently actually trying to relist it because I messed up and made it way too much. But what was your question?
How did you find that platform to use? I assume you used the wizard, did you? The wizard I'm showing you now, which just allows you to verify your phone, drag and drop what you want to sell.
Yes, that's exactly what I did.
Great, and you found that reasonably useful.
Yes. The only thing, and this might, again, I've only been playing with it for 5 minutes. There might be an edit feature later on. My thing is, I was actually testing selling artwork. For instance, Crypto Art sells their pieces in 3 different versions: small, medium, and large. Right. So if I wanted to like place one thing, for instance, one print of art, but at 3 different types of sizes for 3 different values, how would I go about doing that?
What you need to do, Alex, is launch a store, which you can do through the dashboard, and that's how you go about doing that. So you basically you create
I see that edit.
you create a business listing, and then you can create a store from that. And when your store is complete, it's going to show up in our mail, and then people can come and look around all your offering, et cetera, et cetera. So here we go, Crypto Art, the Patriot. There's your. So you're looking at your own the Patriot print right now.
Yep, I am updating it. I meant it to be a 5 BTC, not 129, 1,299 BTC. So yeah, it's very simple to use. I play mine all day, so yeah, this isn't very difficult at all to understand. The only, and I'm just being technical. The only other thing that I've noticed is the inability to set a different shipping price for different countries, which I don't know if that even matters for you.
No, you make a good point, and that's something that we can certainly work on. The last thing I wanted to show you is the BitTrust functionality. So let's go back to the marketplace. So whenever you bring a product up and you want to look at that product, you are shown a BitTrust score, which is giving the potential buyer an indication of how much business the seller has done on the platform, how many successful trades they conducted. It's proving to them that they can actually verify or look into the history of that BitTrust. How has it come to be? And you can see that in this case, the seller has lodged a certain amount of details with Bitscan, which means that we can reach out and touch them in the event that there is a problem with the sale and the consumer isn't happy. And they can also message that vendor and strike up a dialogue with them if that helps them to get comfortable with what they're considering purchasing.
So yeah, I'm playing with it right now. I'm absolutely seeing this. So what is the level of BitTrust from 0 to?
Well, that score can just climb and climb. I think the key part of it is, well, there's 2 things really. Firstly, it can be analysed so that any potential customer can see who they're looking at doing business with before they do business. And secondly, that BitTrust verified badge can, through the dashboard, just be the script can be downloaded onto a seller's site, again, their own website, so they can give buyers confidence that they are a human being, they're not a scammer, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the
I, I,
that's
oh,
the
please, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
yeah no that's the that's the that is the core BitScan platform. So that done, our next thought was, okay, well look, how can we make it possible? How could we make it possible for anyone to have those tools, anyone, anywhere? Because it's our conviction that adoption here is going to work and has to work from the grassroots up. So if we could do that, how could we? If you're accepting that grassroots is going to lead this, how could we put this toolbox into the hands of ordinary Bitcoiners everywhere without them having to go through the R&D work and that investment, and just give them the tools to
Right.
go out into the community and pitch to merchants, pitch to traders, pitch to charities, etc., and sort of drive adoption that way. We knew that there had to be a strong value proposition for merchants, and we think that where that's concerned, while it is of course possible for merchants to integrate Bitcoin payments within their own platforms, if that merchant's of any size, there's a degree of risk there, in particular if they're doing the majority of their trading through an online platform, of actually taking that platform down or tinkering with it. It's not something that a lot of merchants are comfortable with off the bat. They just want to see whether whether it's going to help their bottom line in the first instance. And the second thing is that even if you do integrate Bitcoin payments within your platform, if your customers aren't Bitcoin savvy, you're almost you're looking at sort of finding a different demographic to work in. So far as we're concerned, far better to produce a central hub where merchants can actually, open up an additional revenue channel into the crypto market, where Bitcoin has actually come to shop and do business. So that is the value proposition for merchants that we can offer at BitScan, and we would like agents of BitScan to be able to offer through the tools that we provide them.
Great.
We wanted something.
Robert,
Yeah.
but before you go, my name's Andy. Nice to meet you, Robert, and I'm very glad to be here. How is it? It's morning on your end, right?
It is. It's about 9:15.
Okay. Okay. I just got out of work at 5:30, so.
Yeah, I can see you coming up there. That's sweet. Okay, so we wanted something that partnered genuinely. So we don't want to create we see a lot of the standard sort of affiliate relationships are for buttons really. So we want to genuinely partner with local Bitcoiners and essentially go 50-50 with them, because there's not a lot. I mean, from a commercial perspective, yes, you could flog someone a toolbox, a platform, or whatever, but unless they're actually using it, it doesn't make sense commercially, and it just creates ill will. So we're really interested in building a network of partner arrangements, essentially, so that we can help each other pool expertise, through community and get this thing going. So, for example, if one of us is finding out that a certain vertical or a certain traction channel is really working, I want that information to spread throughout our little community, and for other people to be able to benefit and actually adopt the same techniques, so that we're actually making headway. So that was really that's where Love Plus Bitcoin started. Oops. And that created a design brief for us to create identical functionality to the BitScan platform, but under the client's own brand. I'm not interested in agents trading off BitScan's brand, because I think that people want more individuality than that. People know what their local market likes. They may want to attack a vertical. They may want to attack just the general community. So whilst the functionality had to be identical, the brand had to be individual. I wanted Love Plus Bitcoin agents to have no R&R investment, no infrastructure, no overhead, to make it as simple as possible We wanted to provide that ongoing support. We wanted to give them, and this is key, the potential for instant revenue. So I didn't want a BitScan agent, for example, Plus Bitcoin agent, to be waiting for sales. I want them to be instantly drawing an income based on their own effort. Whether that effort is just consultancy, whether it's helping merchants into the ecosphere via advising them on wallets and etc., or whether it's actually helping them list on BitScan or uploading their inventory. I wanted them to be paid upfront. We also wanted them to have the potential of a sort of multiple revenue streams down the road. We wanted them to be able to participate in a revenue share when a sale actually occurs from any traffic they deliver through their Love Plus Bitcoin site. And then ultimately, we want to use the BitTrust mechanism to reward that activity through the issuance of a digital token, which again can be spent on the BitScan platform.
So as you're talking, I'm reading through your about on BitScan, and it all sounds absolutely feasible. So continue. I'm sorry. I have a habit of interrupting sometimes. So I'm so sorry.
No, that's cool. Let me show you first what an agent site looks like, and then we'll go into the back-end toolbox and show you, what we've created.
Sounds good.
So Bitsy is our own agency, if you like, which we have created and are dog fooding right now. And it's just a standard but quite a smart looking site, which includes the BitScan directory, so people can actually track into that and actually find businesses that are listed and obviously ultimately do business with them. The site also allows people to raise their own content, and there'll be the option of actually syndicating BitScan's BitBuzz Easy into that if content creation isn't your gig. But basically, it gives the agent the means of actually communicating and raising awareness of their own business through their own SEO and marketing, from the word go.
Nice. Sure.
On this site, you can see there's a couple of businesses listed, and you can just click through those back, and they'll take you back into the BitScan site. In the future, the idea is that the facier is all the agents. So as far as the customer or the merchant customer or the consumer is concerned, they are dealing with that agent. What BitScan is doing is providing the trading engine and the directory engine which sits beneath that.
Great.
So that is a standard Bitsy site. In terms of the actual agent dashboard, this is basically what it looks like. So now you're into a BitScan dashboard, and you can actually amend anything in that site that you don't like. So, for example, if you wanted to change that that site's name, I just want to show you how easy that is. So we just change the name of that to Crypto Art. We'll save it. We'll preview it, and now we're that'll the banner automatically changes.
Great.
Let's just change that so it looks a little tidier. So that's how easy we wanted to make it. We wanted to take the design, if you like, challenge away from an agent and just make it real simple. So they can change. An agent can change any part of the website. They can, in terms of adding content, they literally would just open up one of these boxes and off they go. They write it in. They add their own images, and it's super quick. So if we wanted to change the Crypto Art image, we would literally just go to the hero image box, cancel that out, bring up the image you want, and off you go. And the idea is that an agent, you can either tackle the whole community. You can hit local Bitcoin traders, for example, and disrupt that market within your own area. You can approach charities and help them to list their business, and you can help merchants actually upload their inventory. More to the point, you can actually bill for it on the spot. So if we go to the Create Merchant Listing, you can actually invoice um, immediately, and that's
Nice.
an invoice being
Very
generated.
nice.
So you can actually
Okay.
you can initiate a conversation with a merchant, go out and see them, set their listing up in BitScan actually, via the agency on the spot, and then get paid for your time, which I think is really important. It gives you,
Great.
a professional facier and a reason really to go and do business. In
So
terms,
is that, sorry to interrupt, Robert, is that the way that we would approach the brick and mortar merchants? So, I guess, because we have, let's say in the case where I'm talking to a brick and mortar merchant right now, and they want to they're interested in being paid in Bitcoin, how would we use BitScan to have them set up without having to list their products, their stock, and
yeah, absolutely.
online?
So the conversation starts with you creating a listing for them within your own site, which obviously will be mirrored in BitScan. So that now all of a sudden they have potential of getting visibility and drawing traffic from both of those sites, and actually through any Bitcoin site that has the map script on board. So that would be that I suggest would be your in. They may want some consultancy, services from you, which you can invoice with using this tool here. You can actually generate your own invoice for the time that you spend with them, actually helping them to the ecosystem. And then if there's absolutely no reason why a merchant can't list products, even if they're bricks and mortar, and actually use their dashboard or the BitScan or indeed your platform as a till. And they would simply, they can either do that manually, but again, if you're doing it for them, you can bill them for that service, and you can also bulk up
Sure.
their inventory and images just by a drag and drop function that we have installed in the toolbox. So, and indeed, whilst as we dog through this whole concept, you can just, if you start talking to a merchant who has a big inventory, you literally email it to
Hmm.
us and we'll do it for you on the back end. We want to,
Wow.
as far as the agent is concerned, we just want to remove the friction and get
Right.
agents out into the community, billing for the time that they're actually spending with merchants, individuals, traders, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So that.
So honestly, when I first saw this, I akined it a lot to Airbits right off the bat because Airbits has a directory. They're doing a lot of the same thing. I just got to say, I think you guys took it a couple steps above. So good job on that. You really did. Because what I saw was Airbits plus a couple of additional features. So I don't take that take that as a compliment, honestly, because I think you guys are actually a little above, and I'm surprised I haven't seen this. I guess it's because you guys haven't gone to a conference, but and they're at every single one. But yeah, looking at it so far and going through it myself, it's a lot more user friendly. There's a lot more features, a lot more to do. So that's good on you. Good on you.
Well, thanks very
That's
much. In our mind's eye, there is the potential here to, basically grow a decentralized adoption army. And actually, I want to be in a position where we're putting Bitcoin into the pockets of the huge number of Bitcoiners who are out there doing this every day anyway.
Yeah.
I want them to get paid for what they're doing, because it acts to incentivize people to do more. So I see a lot of poor Bitcoiners around the bazaars, and I also see a lot of sort of centralized Bitcoin companies, which doesn't seem to me to be consistent with what we're trying to achieve here. I don't want, personally, a Bitcoin economy that really just mirrors the fiat economy. I want something that is true to what what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. I
Uh,
agree with that.
and so by throwing this toolbox and this opportunity out to local Bitcoiners, we're hoping that, hey, we can start moving back down a decentralized track and actually empowering people to build their own businesses on the back of the technology. So look, where
Sure.
where are we at? As you can see, all the tech heavy listing is pretty much complete. We are dogfooding our own agents at the moment in our local area, and we have agents coming up in Melbourne as well. So between the two of us, we're hitting everything from charities traders, to online merchants, and bricks and mortar, and that's giving us an insight into what they want, and what works in attracting them to this sort of proposition.
Of course.
The idea in that is not just to sort of get better ourselves, but to then provide that that feedback into this Love Plus Bitcoin community, so we can all get better as we go at doing our business. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. And then what have we got planned for the future? Well, the next dev task for us is making it possible for people to upload and sell digital products. So at the moment, they're physical products that we sell, or indeed, just listings that go into the directory. We would like to extend that into the digital domain so that people can, publish through us and indeed through our agents. We also would like to expand the Bitcoin trading functionality into an escrow facility that only charges the trader if there's an issue, because we feel that Local Plus Bitcoins is taking 1% out of every trade. It's quite pricey, where 9/10 of them are pretty simple. So we think that is a market that we would like to disrupt, and more to the point, we'd like our agents to be able to disrupt. So I love the idea of the San Antonio Love Plus Bitcoin agency, whatever it might be called, being able to build out the entire ecosystem, people just having a one-stop shop if they're in San Antonio, so that they can go and do everything. They can go and get their Bitcoin, they can spend Bitcoin, they can live their lives, and they need to go nowhere else.
Yeah, I think we're the ones to do it. Well, our name is the San Antonio Crypto Network, and from the start, we did want to create an ecosystem that was akin to a powerful network. And I think what you guys are doing, it rings true to that. It seems even across the pond, everyone has people have similar ideas. But it's about putting them into action, and I'm glad that we found a toolkit like yours, because honestly, we haven't been gaining much traction, and the problem is, and you've been talking about it, mentioning it, is that we don't have the unique tool set that every merchant is looking for. So I'm very excited about this.
Right. So the whole point here, I think, is that we can provide merchants with a low cost, low risk means of actually dipping their toe in the water, in the knowledge that we'll be pumping their business so hard as we can to get them. That it's about aligning interests, I think, at the end of the day, and we just.
Sure.
Yeah, it's that's the gig. I think that is a great way in, and once, of course, that relationship is built, they're going to be coming back to Love Plus Bitcoin agents again and again and again to help them do this or that, or amend their inventory. So you've got a lovely sort of recurring revenue stream based on a really healthy relationship, and I think that's hugely powerful in comparison to a remote, centralized infrastructure arrangement where if you have a problem, you've got nowhere to go. So
exactly, and but I didn't even think this, but we actually have a building that we dubbed the San Antonio Bitcoin Center, obviously, or maybe the embassy, but that's not the point. And we actually bought a Bitcoin ATM a couple months ago to put there because we really wanted to be an informational hub for San Antonio, where anybody could come, whether you're an individual with a business or not, and just learn whatever you need. And then we started our meetups every week to kind of facilitate that anyway. So yeah, honestly, this seems like a really good fit. This is kind of what we've been doing anyway. Couldn't have said it better than Andy with we needed a toolkit. So, yeah.
Well, listen, that's fantastic. So, so the next dev task for us is we'd like to be crypto agnostic. We're working on that, and there's two reasons for that, really. One is I don't think it's healthy just to focus, with 250 altcoins out there or so. There's no need for us to focus just on one, and so we're working on that. Where that's concerned, the point here ultimately for us is we would like to crowd sale our own token and then issue that token against Bitrust. So if we're issuing Bitrust or rewarding Bitrust points for people who are trading honestly and who are actually active on the platform. We want to reward that activity in a monetary way, and so by issuing our own crypto token, we can offer our agents a further incentive, which is amounts to a dividend and something that they can trade on the platform and with each other and others on a floating exchange. So it's a two-step process for us. Firstly, we want to make it possible for anyone in the crypto world to trade on our agents or indeed on the BitScan platform. And then we want to reward that activity with what amounts to a digital share in the whole process. So it's just about creating a circle, which is rewarding the doers, frankly. So they're our future, dev targets.
I like that. I like the idea of an incentive coin. It's great.
Yeah. So look, just to recap on the opportunity then, what we're offering is an immediate, customizable, branded, and professional web presence. So that's very, very quick to deliver. Offering the agent the ability to target any and every sector of the Bitcoin economy. They can, an agent can either, for example, if someone is really into art, they can take out the art vertical and just go global if they want, and use that web presence and that platform and toolbox to make it possible for artists everywhere to actually showcase through their platform, and do business. We want to provide the tools to initiate those conversations, perform services, and build them immediately. And then, our agents will also be deriving a second revenue stream from for trading that occurs through the BitScan engine, and ultimately through issuance of their own sort of digital tokens on a pro rata basis in comparison with the entire sort of BitScan ecosystem. So boom, that's kind of it, really, fellas.
Great. Are you open to questions? More questions, or are you tight on time?
No, absolutely not. Take it away.
Okay, great. Okay, so hate to stress this question again. So let's say we have the brick and mortar gentleman, and he's very old-fashioned. He couldn't be bothered. Let's just say in the hypothetical, he couldn't be bothered to put anything on the website. Is it still possible to use BitScan in order to just process Bitcoin transactions at his location, at his brick and mortar location?
Absolutely right. So you would create a listing for him, which is going to cost him, sort of $50 to sort of get into the space, and then you are also, should he wish, you're going to upload his inventory for him, so he need to do absolutely nothing, and he's going to pay you for those services. But it's going to be reasonable, and he's going to be paying you effectively for your time and the service that you're performing for him.
Sure. Okay.
So when his customers come in to his shop and want to, should they wish to buy something from him over the counter, he would simply bring up the BitScan webpage, and they can pay via the QR token against products there and then.
Okay. Great. And as far as the conversion goes, so let's say any merchant we approach always wants their Bitcoins converted back to dollars. How soon is that conversion done, or do you guys, is that something BitScan can do?
It's absolutely possible. All he would need to do is for you to help him onto an exchange or a payment processor, and then against his profile, you would literally insert the wallet address of that service in his profile, and the money then routes back through that service provider or that exchange, and he can have his Bitcoin paid out however he wants. And again, that consultancy service is something that you would bill the merchant for, quite rightly.
Right.
All right, I have a question. Pardon me. The current, I know you're talking about in the future with the BitTrust, but with BitTrust as it currently stands, let's say you do have a bad merchant, and I with the escrow in the future that would be great. But currently, if a merchant burns a customer, how does BitScan, if anything, deal with that?
So what happens is when a transaction completes, the customer, if he has lodged his details with us, so we know who he is, he gets the opportunity to vote on the merchant, and the merchant because he has lodged his details with us, gets an opportunity to vote on the customer. And if either of those entities downvote the other, we get busy. Because ultimately, we're interested in understanding why that happened and weeding out players who are not conducive to growing the Bitcoin economy. So
Sure.
the BitTrust function, it performs two functions really. The first is that it helps consumers to find reputable merchants, and it also allows us to reward reputable merchants and indeed consumers and weed out disreputable merchants and customers.
Okay.
That's fair.
Good. Just making sure there was some aberration or something like that. So good deal. That was my main question, other than the brick and mortar that you also touched on. So
Okay.
yeah, that I was gonna say the first one I always put down is my mom's bed and breakfast. So I was like, can I do that? Awesome, because obviously she's not selling anything online, but you know what I mean.
But there's no reason why your mother's B&B, you couldn't on her behalf, or she couldn't herself launch her rates as individual products on your agency, and again be mirrored to the BitScan site, and have customers pay direct through the platform. She doesn't need a Bitcoin
The
pot.
fact that she's a massage therapist, spa, so yeah, I could easily put, spa $70, massage $60. I know that might look kind of funny, but the fact is they are what they are. They're services.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So if you're hitting up an attorney, for example, and who is offering consultancy into a certain space for a certain amount of money for a certain time, there's no reason why that cannot be purchased via the BitScan platform. So, which means that you can advertise it through your agency, right?
That's fun that you say that, because we actually do have a lawyer in town that accepts Bitcoin, so we'll be putting his service on BitScan.
So, boys, that's pretty much where we are. If you're interested and you just can't wait, you can go to the website I'm showing you now, and we've got we have a sort of an early bird offer. Or look, we can just create a dialogue outside this webinar via the email address below that, and get this thing going.
Sounds great. We'll be there.
All right, boys. Well, it's lovely to speak to you. Is there anything else you'd like to ask?
So far, one more thing. Last thing, the tokens that you're going to be awarding, will those be available? Will you be able to purchase things through? Will you be able to use that token to purchase things on BitScan?
Absolutely. I think first things first, that token needs to be freely floating on exchange and tradable. So we have to work out the math of that, and we also, we need the traction to support that. So,
of course, the market liquidity.
Absolutely right. Once the liquidity is there, you've got something that has, monetary worth, and of course, our early adopters will be, quids in, because as issuance commences, their BitTrust will be, such that they will be getting the majority shares.
Great. Thank you.
All right, boys. Well, lovely to speak to you, and great questions. I look forward to doing business with you.
Likewise, Robert.